Hi everyone, I'm Nick Olivo, and today we're looking at the D&D 5th edition adventure Brother Von Doom. Written by John Stansel and published by Stands to Reason Games, this is a gothic horror one-shot for characters between levels 6 through 8. It features all new monsters, a great villain, and a boss fight that can be handled more through RP than combat. Now, from this point forward, there will be tons of spoilers, so if you're a player, you'll want to stop watching and send your DM this video. Before we dive in, I'd just like to thank Roll20 for sponsoring this video. In the adventure, Brother Von Doom is an alchemist who's conducting forbidden necromantic rituals and creating something akin to Frankenstein's monster. The players begin by approaching Brother Von Doom's castle, and 4 different hooks are provided for why the players are there and what their objectives are. But the upshot is they're going to explore the castle, find evidence of the macabre experiments he's been performing, confront some of the horrors he created, and this ultimately culminates in a final showdown in a mad scientist-style laboratory. I'm going to start by showing off the module's maps and artwork, and then we'll get into the adventure itself. So we get 3 full-color maps of the castle, which include dynamic lighting, and I think these give a really nice flavor for how the castle feels. I love these maps. And we also get a splash page showing what it looks like as the players approach the castle. Now, one thing here is that this image and the actual layout of the maps don't line up. You can see that there are obviously towers and more floors in this castle than we are given maps for. So if you're a purist, you can choose not to share that with your players, or you could always add more maps to expand the adventure further if you wanted to. I personally wasn't worried about that, so I showed this to my players just to give them the vibe. We ran the adventure, and everybody had a great time. The maps are populated with brand new monsters, so you're not going to be dealing with zombies or skeletons here. Instead, we get flesh-bound lurkers and carrion stitchlings and charnel brawlers. And each of these monsters has unique abilities and mechanics that will keep your players on their toes. I think my personal favorite of these is the Mod Sentinel that you'll fight in the basement. This is a Langolier style ball of mouths, and just the reaction from my players when I showed them this zoomed image, they were all like, "What is that?" And they were completely freaked out by it, and those are the sort of moments that really make a DM's day. Each of the monster's stat blocks can be found in the characters folder here in the journal, so you can quickly check them out while you're prepping. And let's take a look at the journal in more detail. The text of the adventure is included in this adventure folder. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. The art folder has all of the handouts of Von Doom's alchemical notes that your players will discover, and these give a great insight into Von Doom's mental state, and they help set the tone of the adventure. It should be both unsettling and demonstrating that Von Doom is toying with powers that he shouldn't. And then we also get a handful of really cool magical items, like this cursed scalpel that deals extra necrotic damage and inflicts psychological torment on its wielder. And these items add some great flavor to the adventure. My only wish is that the artwork was in color instead of black and white, but that's a minor quibble. The artwork itself is really good. So the flow of the adventure is that the characters start out here on the ground floor, and they're going to begin exploring the house and discovering some of its secrets. They're going to encounter some of the monsters that I mentioned earlier, and hopefully they find the secret door here that leads them to the library in Area 3. This is where they meet the ghost of Giles, whose spirit has been bound by Von Doom to watch over his secrets. And if your PCs miss this room, they're going to miss out on a lot of information and background knowledge that will help them over the course of the adventure, so keep that in mind. The module gives a really nice handout that talks through how Giles will approach interacting with the party and the information that he can convey and how he's going to answer certain questions. And this makes for some great role-playing opportunities. Now, if you have the Voice Mod app, I suggest using the storyteller voice with the background effects turned off, and you'll sound like this when you read for Giles.
Knowledge is power. and power has a price. Why have you come here to this place of shadows and secrets?
Once the party has finished exploring this floor, they're going to go up this staircase to the upstairs map. And here, they can continue to gather information about Von Doom's notes and experiments. They will encounter a pack of gorehounds. They will find one of Von Doom's more gruesome experiments. And then ultimately, they can discover this secret passage in the empty study. And the secret passage is going to take them downstairs to the basement. Once you're in the basement, the party will encounter an electrified staircase trap. They'll battle past the aforementioned mod sentinels, and then finally they'll come into the reanimation lab, where they'll find Brother Von Doom and his latest necromantic creation. The module does a really nice job of describing both Von Doom and the monster's tactics. And hopefully, the party realizes that the monster isn't evil. It's confused and it's scared. It's been brought back to life. It doesn't know what's going on. It's stitched together from multiple other humanoids. It's having a traumatic experience. Von Doom, on the other hand, is going to do everything that he can to stop the players from interfering with his work. If we open up his character sheet, we can see that he's got access to a bunch of alchemical compounds that he's going to throw at the players. He's got a bonus action that lets him throw another alchemical flask at the players. And then he's got some powerful spells as well, including counter spells, which is going to stall the party's efforts to try and stop him. Now, while it's not explicitly stated, Von Doom himself appears to take inspiration from Marvel Comics' Doctor Doom, and that actually gives DMs some really good guidance on how to portray him. He's brilliant, he's articulate, maybe a little bit mad, but he's going to be calculated and measured in his actions, not reckless or wild. Again, if you have voice mod, I'd suggest using the Doctor voice, which will sound like this.
You're just in time to witness my greatest triumph. Behold, life perfected.
Once Von Doom is defeated, if the monster is still alive, the party has a couple of different ways they can handle things. They can destroy it, they can take it with them, or they could free it. And I kind of love the fact that there's the possibility of the monster becoming a recurring helpful NPC instead of just a sack of hit points that your players fight. So there you have it, Brother Von Doom for D&D 5e. My players and I really enjoyed this adventure, and if you'd think it'd be fun for your table, there's a link to it down in the video description. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming.